started. I'm going to record this class, but I know all of you know this already. None of your names or your faces or anything like that will be recorded. And at the end, if you want to stay and talk or ask me any questions, I'd love to talk to you. So I'm going to go ahead and read the waiver. In order to make these classes as freely accessible as possible to our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure that you've moved nearby furniture and other potential hazards. If you are participating in yoga class or class involves lying on the ground, we recommend using a mat, or if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice and care as needed. William Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical examination and follow the healthcare advice of your provider before participating. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started in child's pose, bringing your big toes together, knees wide, and melting your chest down towards the mat. Just really coming into your breath here. Really spreading those fingertips wide, melting your hips back towards your heels. Feel where your forehead connects to the earth and imagine that all your tension is leaving your head, going into the ground, so you don't have to hold on to it anymore. Starting to notice your breath here. Notice if your inhales or your exhales are longer. Then trying to start to even out your inhales and exhales. So maybe breathe in for 4 counts and then out for 4 counts, or however many counts feels good to you. Let's take one more deep breath in here. One more deep breath out. Good, really spreading your fingertips wide. We're gonna start by going into swan. So your knees and your hands stay exactly where they are. You just come forward, bring your hips to the ground, feeling that stretch in your hip flexors. And then exhale back to child's pose. Good, inhale, forward swan. Exhale back, child's pose. Let's do 2 more, inhale. And exhale. You don't need to go very deep into the back bend. We're just warming up. Let's do 1 more. And exhale back to child's pose. Walking your hands over towards the right, pressing your right hand on top of your left hand. And then coming back to center, going towards the left, pressing your left. Wait, this time your right hand's on top of your left hand. I think I've said that wrong every single time I've taught, now that I think about it. Coming back to center, coming up to tabletop when you're ready. Bring your knees right underneath your hips, your wrists right underneath your shoulders. Your core is pulled up and in. All our movements today originate from our core. Starting to drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, looking up towards the sky for cow. And exhale to cat, looking towards your thighs. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Inhale one more time. And exhale, cat. Coming back to that tabletop pose, tuck your toes under and bring your knees right off the ground, coming into bear pose. So you're using your core to really hold yourself here. And then pressing back to downward facing dog, pedaling out your feet here. Really roll your shoulders away from your ears. Try to consciously do that throughout class today. Even in poses where it doesn't really seem to matter, it still really helps protect your neck and keeps your spine in alignment. Inhale up onto your tippy toes and exhale your heels down. Good, 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Looking forward towards your hands, start to walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Bring your arms all the way out and up. We're going to move my computer back. You can't see me at all. Then bring your hands to heart center. Pausing here. Okay, I'm still a little cut off. It's fine. Just coming into your breath here. Notice the difference in your body between when we started class just a few minutes ago and now. Rolling those shoulders back, pulling your core in, feeling your feet connected to the earth. Taking one more breath in here. One more breath out. Slowly start to open your eyes. Inhale your arms all the way out and up. And exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Stepping back to plank, holding here. Really pulling that core in. You guys are doing great. Then when you're ready, pressing back to downward facing dog. Good. We're going to bring that into a little flow. So inhale, forward plank. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Good. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Last time. Inhale, forward, holding here. We're going to come to side plank with your left arm down and your right arm up. You can always step that top foot in front of you, or you can also bring that bottom knee down to the ground. Coming back to plank and coming to side plank on the other side. Your right hand is down, your left arm is up. Really pressing your hips up so your body's making a little rainbow. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to plank, pressing back to downward facing dog, and then coming down to tabletop, crossing your ankles and coming back to a seat. We're just going to stretch out our neck, bringing our right ear to our right shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Good. Keep going like that. Just stretching out your neck however feels good to you. Coming back up to center, start to look down. And then inhale up. Good. Exhale down. Inhale up. Coming back to center, inhale your arms out and up. Exhale through heart center and down. Good. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time, inhale. Tipping over towards one side, stretching your side body out here. Rotating those shoulders open. Coming back up to center and going over towards the other side. Good. Coming up to center and then twisting to either side. Just bringing your hand across your thigh, pressing yourself into a gentle twist. Then twisting towards the other direction. Coming back to center, stretching out our wrists, bringing our palms down to the ground, our fingertips facing our body. This is stretching out your forearms. You can rock side to side. And then flipping your hands over so your palms are still facing up and no, your fingers are still facing your body, but your palms are facing up. Releasing that, shaking out your wrists, taking some little wrist circles here, and switch directions. When you're ready, coming back to that tabletop, and then press back to downward facing dog. Inhale that right leg up, bend your knee and open up your hip, coming into three-legged dog. Step that foot forward in between your hands, coming up to high crescent lunge. So your arms can be up above you, or you can have your hands at heart center. We're going to inhale, extend our arms and our legs. Exhale, bend everything, bringing your arms out to like goalpost arms next to your body. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Good. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keep going at your own pace for 3 more. When you get to that last one, bring your knee all the way down to the mat. Bring your hands to heart center and twist towards the right. Bring that left arm across your right thigh. Really pressing your hands together to twist yourself deeper. Good, and then bringing your hands down to the mat. Tuck your back toe under and press straight back to 3-legged dog, shooting that right leg up. Releasing it down to the mat and inhale your left leg up. Bend your knee and open up your hip. Really try to keep pressing your chest back towards your thigh. Stepping that foot up in between your hands, coming up to high crescent lunge on this side. Your hands can always be at heart center, where they can extend up. Inhale, extend your arms and your legs. Exhale, bend into that lower crescent lunge, bringing your arms out to the sides. Inhale up, exhale lower, inhale up, exhale bend. Keep going for 3 more times. This is really combining strength and balance here. When you get to that last one, bring your knee all the way down to the mat, your hands to heart center, twisting towards the left, bringing that right arm across your left thigh. Taking one more breath in here. Exhale, bring your hands down, tuck your back toe under, and press back to 3-legged dog. Lowering that leg back down, pedal out your feet here. And then coming down to tabletop. We're going to do a little bit of a butt workout here. So extend that right leg behind you nice and straight. We're going to lower that foot down to the ground and then extend it up as high as you can without letting your lower back arch. Keep going like that at your own pace. You can always come onto gorilla fists if this feels like too much weight in your wrists. You can also always do these exercises on your forearms, really bringing all the weight out of your wrists here. Making sure that you're spreading your fingertips wide and pressing evenly into all your fingertips if this is the arm variation you're doing. Keeping that core tight. Pausing at the top and start to pulse higher. Making sure you have a little micro bend in your elbows wherever you are. Good, keep your leg lifted, just bend your knee to a 90-degree angle, and then we're gonna pulse that leg towards the ceiling. Remember, you can always switch what arm variation you're doing if your wrists are getting tired. Keep that knee bent, just tap it down on the outside of your left leg and then extend it up. Then bring that knee back down to normal tabletop, then extend it out to the side for fire hydrant. Then back down. So it goes up, tap on the side of your leg, up to the middle, out to the side, and back down. Good, so tap on the side, extend it up. Tap it down normal, extend it out to fire hydrant, and then come back. changing the movements, even if you usually do all these movements separately, if you start combining them in new ways, it can actually help form new neural pathways in your brain. So basically, you're getting smarter. Let's take one more full round of this little thing. And then pausing here, making sure that you're really still pulling your core up and in, spreading those fingertips wide. Your form is not deteriorating here. And then you're going to bring your leg out to like a 45-degree angle back and pulse it up. So your knee is coming at a diagonal line out from your hip. This is working that side booty muscle. Keep pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Release that leg down. Last exercise on this side, we're going to tap our right knee to our right elbow. Then bring it across, tap it to your left elbow, and then extend it back. Good. So tap right, tap left, extend. Right and left, extend. Keep going like that. You guys got it. We're taking a break after this exercise, only to switch sides, but still it's a break. Let's take one more of these. Good, releasing both legs down. Just sit back on your heels and take some wrist circles. And then switch directions. And then bring the backs of your hands together, and you can kind of rock your hands back and forth. Good, and then come back to tabletop. We're gonna switch sides here. Hopefully I remember everything I did on the first side. So extend that left leg back, making sure we're giving this side just as much attention as the other side. So start bringing that leg down and up with that nice engaged core. Bringing your focus to where your hamstring connects to your butt. Creating that mind-muscle connection, getting a more effective workout. You guys got it here. You're doing so well. Making sure you keep rolling your shoulders away from your ears. Pausing at the top and pulsing higher. Bending that knee and then pulse your foot up towards the ceiling. Either pointing or flexing that foot. And then keeping that knee bent, tap it down on the outside of your right leg, extend it up, tap it down, normal tabletop, extend it out to the side for fire hydrant, and then bring it back down to normal tabletop. Good, up, to the side, up, tabletop, fire hydrant, tabletop. Good, keep going at your own pace. Taking one more round of this. And coming back for a little break before our last exercise here. Actually, no, we have two more. Bring your knee out to that 45-degree angle and pulse your leg up and down. And then we have our last one after this. Good, keep pulsing for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that knee down. Good, tap your left knee to your left elbow, then to your right elbow, then extend it back. Good, so tap, tap, extend. Keep going like that, moving with your own breath, making sure you're moving with your muscle control and not with momentum. Let's say 2 more of these. Last one. Releasing your leg down, coming back to child's pose with your feet together, your knees together, and your arms behind you. Just releasing your wrists here. Good, coming up to a seat, bring your legs in front of you. We're going to stretch out our outer hips that we just worked. Coming into fire log pose. So bringing your heels and your knees right like on top of each other. Inhale, lengthen your spine. You can either stay here or you can fold forward, getting a deeper stretch on your outer hip. You should feel the stretch more on the leg that's on top. So right now my right leg is on top, so I feel the stretch more in my right outer hip. Making sure you're really flexing your feet to help protect your knees. That's my dog growling in the background. Coming up to center, switching which leg is on top. Making sure it's like ankles / heels right in line with your knees. If you can't get your knee all the way down, you can place a block or anything, a pillow in that space. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold, if you would like to. Coming back up to center, we're just going to stay seated to do a few arm exercises. So first, extend your arms out to the side, and then we're going to release them down to the ground. Then inhale all the way up. Good. Keep going like that. Imagine you have nice, graceful wings. You're like flying through the air, keeping those shoulders down. This really helps tone those little muscles next to your collarbone that you don't really ever think about, but are actually really important. So it's also really good for your shoulders and your back muscles. Keep pulling that core in. And then pause with your arms straight out. Take little arm circles towards the front of the room. And then switch directions, circling towards the back of the room. Good, and then bend your arms, so like goalpost arms. You're gonna bring your arms halfway down and then up. Good, keep going like that. Imagine you're pressing something heavy down. Now pause in that down position, and then you're gonna bring your arms all the way down, and then up and down. So just doing the bottom half of that rotation. Really working your shoulders, making sure your shoulder blades are like they're going in your back pockets. Let's take 2 more of these and then take a little break. Okay, releasing your arms here, taking some shoulder rolls. Then some shoulder rolls towards the back. Stretch out your neck a little bit. Then we're going to continue with our arms. So extend your arms out to the side. We're going to draw some C's in the air. So just really rotating your pinkies underneath, and then try to really rotate your wrists as you draw the C's because it will make the exercise more effective. Trying to make sure your little C's stay in between your shoulders and your hips, so you're not going too high or too low. Good, and then bring your arms straight out. You're just going to bend in and extend. Trying to make sure your arms are forming a straight line as much as you can. Lots of energy shooting out of those fingertips. Leave them extended and then bring your arms out at diagonal lines out from your shoulders, or do some crossovers. So just scissor your arms with the opposite one on top every time. Keep going for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, last arm exercise. We're just gonna press our triceps back, really engaging your triceps here, pressing your hands like they're touching the back wall, and then extend them back to your hips. Good, and then extend out and release back. Every time you press your hands back, really feel those triceps engage. This exercise can be really effective if you have that mind-muscle connection. Let's keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, coming to stretch out our arms now. Bring that right arm across our body. Making sure you're not pressing on your elbow. Then stretching out your tricep. And then switching arms, bring that left arm across. And then stretching out that tricep. Good, coming back to center. Clasp your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulder blades together. You can bring your neck to either side. And then clasp your hands, the opposite thumb on top. Good, and then, I almost tripped on my mat. Coming back to that seat, releasing that bind, and coming back to tabletop. Tucking your toes under and press back to downward facing dog. You can pedal out your feet here. Hopefully you feel your shoulders have worked out a little bit today. And then from here, inhale that right leg up, stepping it through in between your hands, coming up to warrior 2. So that front knee is bent right over your front ankle. Your arms are shooting that energy out. Inhale, reverse your warrior and straighten your front leg. Then coming forward to triangle, reach as far forward as you can, releasing that bottom hand down to your right leg, pressing your shoulders back and your hips forward. Good, from here coming back up to warrior 2, We're just gonna switch directions that we're facing. So now we're facing warrior, we're facing our left foot in warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior and straighten your front leg. Coming forward to triangle. Imagine you could touch that front wall and then start to bring your left arm down, your right arm up. Imagine you're right in front of a wall, so you're pressing your entire back into that wall. From here, coming back up to warrior two, straighten both your legs and bring your hands to your hips. Good, so your heels are gonna be in, your toes are gonna be out, and then we're gonna come into a goddess squat, bringing our knees over our ankles, like out to the side, and your arms are gonna come up. Good, and then you're gonna bring your arms down and straighten your legs. Inhale, arms up, knees bent. Exhale, straighten. Good, keep going with those nice slow squats, really feeling that engagement here. Imagine your back is sliding down a wall. So your tailbone is kind of coming underneath your body instead of out behind you like a normal squat. You can kind of look down at your knees, making sure they're going over your big toes. Pausing at the bottom here, we're going to take some little pulses. Just feeling that in your thighs here. You can bring your hands to heart center. Keep pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend your legs. This time you can bring your toes in and your heels out. You're going to bring your hands to your hips, roll your shoulders back, take a little mini back bend here, and then fold forward to wide-legged forward fold. You can bring your hands to your ankles and pull yourself deeper into that stretch. You can also bring your hands down to the ground or your elbows down, whatever feels comfortable to you. And then bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. We're going to bend into one knee for side lunge, making sure, just like in goddess squat, that that knee is coming over your big toe. Coming up to center and bend into that other knee. Feeling the strength in your thigh and the stretch in the inner thigh of your opposite leg. Inhale, center. Exhale. Keep going like that at your own pace. Charlie wanting to join the workout here. He's not doing a very good job working out though. Let's bend one more time into each leg. And then come up to center, bring your hands to your hips with a long flat back, coming back up to standing. Coming to warrior two, facing the front of your mat. Bring your hands down, stepping back to plank, and press back to downward facing dog. Good, pedaling out your feet here. Coming down to tabletop, and then into happy puppy. So leaving your hips and your knees exactly where they are. Just slide your arms forward, starting to stretch out your shoulders and your back. Feeling your breath here. Taking one more breath in. One more exhale out. And sliding forward to Spanx Pose. So your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Imagine you're like pulling your body through your arms, rolling those shoulders back. And then you can just bring your forehead down onto your hands. We're going to do 2 more butt exercises here. So the first one is flutter kicks. We're just going to lift our legs up and then flutter kick your feet like you're swimming. This works a little bit of different muscle than those like tabletop butt exercises we did. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now bring your knees a little bit wider. Bring your feet together. And we're going to do some frog lifts. So just lift your thighs off the ground and then bring them back down. This strengthens your lower back and your butt muscles here. Keep going at your own pace. Only a few more of these. Let's take one more. And then leave your feet in the air, but make sure they're hips width apart. And then we're just going to windshield wiper our feet to either side. Releasing our hips here. And then releasing your feet down. Bring your hands next to your side, pressing up to upward facing dog or cobra. And then back to downward facing dog. From here, we're going to come into a little twist. So walk your hands about 4 inches back and make sure that your feet are the width of the mat. And then bring that left hand to your right ankle, coming into a downward facing dog twist, looking underneath your right shoulder. Coming back to center, bringing that right hand to your left ankle, looking underneath your left arm. Good, coming back to that downward facing dog. Coming forward to plank, you can step your feet to be hips width apart. We're just gonna hold here first. So you can bring your knees to the ground if that's more comfortable. And then we're gonna start to bring each forearm down and then press back up onto your hands. So you can do this on your knees. I'm gonna stay on my knees, but you can also be in like full plank on your toes. So you're gonna bring forearm, forearm, hand, hand. These are sometimes called plank walks. Trying to stay nice and engaged here. Good, let's take 2 more of these. And then stay down in forearm plank. You can hold this on your knees or you can come onto your toes. Really pulling that lower belly up and in. We're going to take a break after this next exercise so you can do it. We're going to come into plank like hip tap things. So you're just going to bring your hips over towards one side and up to center and then tap them down on the other side. Keep going like that. I'm going to turn my dog around so that you're seeing the head side of him and not the bad side. Good, keep going. 5 more on each side. Now he's joining in on the yoga. Last 2 on each side. Good, and then releasing your hips down, pressing up, really stretching out your stomach here, rolling those shoulders back. And then pressing back to downward facing dog. Looking forward in between your hands, start to walk your feet through, coming down to a seat. We're going to continue our ab section, lying down. Actually, first, we're going to hold boat pose, really engaging your abs here before we lie down. I don't want to make you guys sit back up. You can hold on behind your thighs, or you can extend your arms out, trying to straighten your back. Mine isn't very straight. And then come down to low boat, bring your hands to heart center, and then release all the way down to the ground. Okay, from here, place your feet flat on the mat with your knees facing the ceiling. Bring your hands to your thighs. Then we're just gonna crunch up and touch our knees, then come back down. Good, crunch up as high as you can, touch your knees, and release back down. Keep going like that. Making sure that you're not bringing your chin all the way to your chest. You can keep looking at the ceiling. Good, and then extend your legs all the way up towards the sky. We're gonna pulse towards our feet for 3, 2, 1, and then extend your arms over your head. Good, pulse for 3, 2, 1, release and extend. Keep going at your own pace. You can bend your knees a little bit or have your legs completely straight. Let's pulse up for one more set of 3. And then releasing your feet back down to the ground. Your hands can come to your sides. Extend that right leg up, lower it down to a hover, and then extend it up till you feel that stretch in your hamstring. Good, lower it down, and then try to bring it up a little closer to your face, stretching out the back of your leg each time. Really engaging your lower abs here, making sure your back is connected to the ground all the time. Let's take 2 more lifts here. Release that right leg down, lift your left leg up, lower it down to a hover, and lift it up till you feel that stretch. And each time, trying to bring that leg a little closer in towards you. Let's take 2 more here. Okay, we're going to combine that. So bring both your legs up, then you're going to let one leg come down to a hover, and then you're going to switch. So like very big scissor kicks. You can bring your hands underneath your tailbone. Still keep engaging your lower abs. Let's do one more switch. And then release your legs down. Good. Okay, now we're going to extend our arms over our head. And then you're just going to crunch your elbows to your knees. So you're going to do like a little reverse crunch, lifting your butt off the ground, and then extend back to that starting position. Good, crunch up, elbows to knees, reverse crunch, and then come back. So it's like you're curling into this little ball and then extending out, bringing your feet back down to the ground. When you extend, making sure you're not arching your back, really keeping your back flat on the ground. After this, we only have one more exercise. We have to do it on both sides, but it only counts as one. Let's do one more of these. Releasing down, bringing your knees towards the left. We're going to crunch up and release down. Good, really working your obliques here, supporting your neck. Every time you crunch up, imagine that muscle contracting. Really focusing on the muscles that are working. Let's take 3 more. And then coming up to center, bringing your knees towards the right. Let's do our crunches on this side. You guys got it, only 5 more, and then we're going to stretch. Good, releasing that, extending your arms over your head and your legs long. Bringing your knees into your chest, rocking side to side, massaging your back. Keep that right leg hugged in towards your chest and extend your left leg out. Just rock your right knee from side to side. Holding on behind your thigh, extend that leg up towards the ceiling. Switching sides, extending that right leg out, hugging that left leg in, rocking it from side to side. Holding on behind your thigh and extending that leg up towards the ceiling. Good, bringing both legs into your chest. Start to rock forward and back, enough that you can come all the way up back into downward facing dog. Lifting that right leg up, bring it forward into pigeon, stepping it forward in between your hand, then bringing that right foot across to the left. You can bring your foot all the way into your hip or make your shin parallel to the front of the mat, whatever feels better to you. Rolling those shoulders back, feeling that stretch in your hip flexor that was just working in those ab exercises. If you would like to, you can fold forward. You can also come down onto your forearms. When you're ready, pressing yourself back up onto your hands, tuck your back toe under, pressing back to downward facing dog. You can lift that right leg up just to release your hip a little bit, then lift that left leg up, step it forward and bring it across to pigeon. Good, rolling your shoulders back. Flexing that left foot. Pausing here for a second before we fold. Then you can start to bring your forearms down to the ground, or you can lie all the way down. Taking one more breath in here. One more breath out. Pressing yourself up onto your hands. Tuck your back toe under, pressing back to downward facing dog. If it feels good to you, you can lift that leg up to release your hip. And then walk your feet forward. Bring your knees down to the front of your mat and sit in between your feet. You can either stay here. That's already a really good stretch for your thigh muscles. Just make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. You can start to lean back a little bit, pressing yourself up on your hands, or you can come down to your forearms. And then if you want to, you can lie all the way down on your mat and you can extend your arms over your head, coming into hero's pose here. But no matter where you are, you're in hero's pose. If you're sitting up in the middle or lying down, you're getting the same benefits of the pose. It's just whatever feels better to you. Reconnect with your breath wherever you are. Feeling your lower belly expand and contract with your inhales and exhales. If you're lying down, you can just untuck your feet. If you're sitting up, you can untuck your feet and then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, lie down on your mat, bringing your knees together, feet wide. Bring both hands to your lower belly and use your breath to push your hands up towards the ceiling and then release them down towards the ground. Good. Now bringing your feet together, knees wide, one hand to your belly, one hand to your chest. You can stay here, or you can start to extend your arms and your legs out on your mat, knowing that all your hard work is done here. Now all you have to do is relax in Shavasana. Slowly start to deepen your breath here, wiggling your fingers and your toes, stretching your arms over your head for one final full body stretch. Hugging your knees into your chest and rocking side to side. Thanking yourself for making this time for your mind and your body today. rolling over onto your right side, and then pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat with your hands at heart center and your eyes closed. Thank you so much for coming and practicing with me today. The light in my heart honors and cherishes the light inside of each and every one of yours. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for coming to Yogalates. I hope you liked it. I can't believe that was already the last class of the semester, but I'm teaching on Sunday and I hope to see you there. And then also I'll see you next semester. I'm going to stop